0.
Okay, so we're gonna be going over this one: 634 entry, 638 SL,
Yep.
and 623 TP. All right, so
Yes.
far it looks like it almost played out, but your problem here was that you closed too early, right? So you
Hmm.
didn't trust your
Yeah.
plan, basically.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't trust my
what can we see here? I would say order flow wise, we have an imbalance down here where this low was made at 623, which is prior to this up run. So you could be shorting and saying, what is imbalances below that we should fill? Um, what else do we have? The bigger candle that runs up to this. So you see how this candle, right? 629 jumps up like
Yep.
$300. We can see in this candle that there is really um there's really no buy pressure or longs that come in until you get to the top of the candle. So it's almost like this entire bottom half of the candle right below this price, like 63250, can
Hmm.
get filled very easily, right? Like it can just it has no support to it basically. Okay, so your important support is really gonna be like, yeah, like 63250. Um, what else can we see? Shorts, longs closing, long shorts, long closing, shorts, longs closing, shorts closing. Um, Here, order flow wise, I wouldn't say that anything really drastic happened besides this one candle over here that we just went over, which would be
The
like,
longs.
yeah, if you lost this, this long area where the buy pressure is coming in, then you could definitely say that, okay, this top was, or this top was likely a distribution top, or it's likely going to hold this little high as rejection, and you could now short to the downside with SL, maybe above the high and targeting downwards. Okay. Um, what else can we see as we lead down to it? We can see a decrease in OI. Positions closing. This means that when you have a trend, right, and your open interest is going down as your trend is like going up, that means the move is weak. Vice versa, if
Say that again.
so, like, let's say on this uptrend, right here, you're going
Yeah.
up, but then you look at OI and it's either like staying very still or it's decreasing. That means that the trend is weak. Like the trend is weak,
I see.
right? We can kind of see that happening here on this downtrend, where we have a drop in OI, like OI decreasing in this downtrend. You come down, you drop, you fill this imbalance within this candle, right? As you said earlier, you lost that
Hmm.
this long support. You filled it
Yeah.
pretty easily, right? Um, Made some support, the monthly view up with that OI decrease. So the OI decrease was your signal telling you that, okay, this trend is weak. The monthly view up could have been telling you that, okay, we're into support, right? Maybe this is a good time to take a TP1 or put SOBE, right? Um, what else can you see?
And I wanted to actually take TP1 there, funny enough,
Yeah, right.
but I
But
was
now
like,
it's
I didn't have a ton of money in the trade,
uh-huh.
and so I was like, because it's a prop count, and I was like, nah, I just let it go down. But I was wanting to take TP1 there just because of that OB over on the left. But
Yeah. Besides that, just chop pretty much. Make
so
some
why did
imbalance.
price go back up?
Well, I can tell you actually to the left. I wouldn't say it much because of order flow. I'd say to the left side of this TPO is why price went back up. But if we keep looking, for example, for a minute, um, let's see into this high. This was a good example of absorption. So you see this high, right, where you shorted initially. Later on, eventually price comes back to it and it sweeps it. As it sweeps it, you can see buyer absorption coming in, or if you combine OI, it's an OI increase. Yeah, so there's a sweep into this high. Absorption, longs coming in. Yeah, so that's just a good sign of or a good signal of absorption here. And that's where you could have also taken a shorts probably.
Yep.
Mm,
Would you
later
have been
on,
able to note to read that in
trends.
the moment?
Yeah, yeah. The absorption, yes, because
Okay. And
all
what
you
is
need to
signaling
know,
that to you?
what is signaling is you see the numbers in the candle. On the left
Yeah.
equals sellers, on the right equals buyers. So
Okay.
you see how the highlighted node or this volume profile
Holy
in the
cow.
candle is um green, right? Like it's a much thicker
Yeah.
node. That
I see
means
it.
that
Yeah.
there is a bigger imbalance of buyers between sellers. So buyers are heavily controlling this candle basically. But what happens if you see buyers with no sellers on the left side? That means that it was limit sellers that absorbed because limits you cannot see with order flow with footprints. You only see markets buyers or market sells with order flow. You understand that? So
Mm.
everything you're seeing here is all market buys and market sells. But if you were to see like here, like this, as I was saying, if you were to see this 281K node, but 30K sellers, you're probably questioning, well, how did price go down? Well, it went down because of limit sellers, right? Because they had their resting sell orders there, and that's how the price rejected, even though you can't see them. You understand?
So people had what was held at that price? People had what? Limit orders or stops or
Limit orders, like limit sells, limit
for
shorts.
for longs? Oh, for shorts, for shorts.
Yeah, yeah, shorts, sells, like sells,
Uh,
because a short is a
yeah,
sell.
yeah,
So yeah, they had
yeah,
sells
yeah,
here,
yeah.
and that yeah, it's
So, but why, when people shorted, did that cause price to go down though? Like, I thought when a ton of people shorted, when a ton of people short, um, supply demand increases and supply goes down, therefore moving price up.
no, no, these are sellers. So people want to sell at 6,300 or 63K 6,630. Like people want to sell Bitcoin. That's
Okay, yeah,
yeah. So people are selling
yep,
like limit sellers are here. That's it. Not shorts, not
okay,
not long shorts. Limit sellers.
okay,
So yeah, you understand? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so this was a good example of absorption here as you swept that high. That's where you had those limit sellers absorb these market buyers, these aggressive buyers. And then as you can see, price stay close below these nodes and then later on drop down. Now to your question earlier was why would I think price come back up here? If we take a look at TPO, which I think is a very useful tool, um, what can we see here is you see this high, right? Is this exactly at this high right here where you took a short? At this high, we made a poor high. Okay, these poor highs are yeah just poor structure basically, like structure that's almost like think of it like having a magnet, right? And it's like pulls the market towards it basically almost. Okay, it's just yeah, Kilo would keep watch when these happen. Like down here is another example of a poor low, and how these poor lows,
That's
poor
why I
highs
want to go
happen.
back down there. But we
Sorry.
already swept it. We already swept it though.
Yeah, so these poor highs, poor lows happen when there's two blocks, two TPOs together, stacked like this, right? And what can we tell here is, let's say you took a short and price is down here into this monthly VWAP of support, right? That we went over. What can we
Mm,
know? We can know that the day or the high of the day is this poor high. So when you have the low of the day down here or the high of the day up here, their poor highs, poor lows, you know that markets has a very good chance at going back to them, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so that is something to keep in mind. And yes, so that is why when the monthly VWAP hit, that's why I told you, this would probably be a good place to take TP1 or at least put your SOBE and be aware that the market will come back up here. Okay? And that's exactly what it does
Mm,
eventually, right? Market, comes back up, sweeps those highs, creating another poor high, which we can go over in a second. You create another poor high, but overall you
mm.
sweep it. And now we have to remember we have these two poor lows
Or
below
low.
us. I mark these as weak lows, like you'll probably see them marked like that. I mark them as weak lows when they're like in between the daily high and daily low. So they're like in the range, like in between the range of daily high and daily low.
Okay.
Because the poor highs, poor lows have more significance if it's the exact high or the exact low. Understand?
So is fire is the only way to tell if a low or a high is poor is by TPO?
Yes. I mean,
Okay, because I was
there's
gonna
you
say
can
that
assume, right? Like you can
I
assume,
assumed that those highs were poor because they
yeah.
didn't sweep the OB in hindsight.
Well,
Because it didn't even come into my OB. And I was like, oh, that's gotta be like a poor high.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can assume sometimes, but just by the way the candle looks, like pattern recognition almost. But yeah, if you want to confirm it,
Yeah.
you need TPO. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, later on, and then we can see like if we had this weak low and poor low marked, we can know that okay, there's probably a good chance that market comes back down and takes these and repairs structure, right? Because it's repairing, needed poor structure basically, right? That's how I think of it, how people think of it. People think of other ways, obviously, but yeah, later on, obviously, you can see price opens up and makes a downtrend, taking the weak low, the poor low, and then eventually getting into your TP, right? Which was down here. Okay, now what can we see with your TP is what happens here as price is coming down into it and making this low. You can see a decrease in OI. So this would have been like an OI wipeout, right? Like this trend is weakening, and we can be looking for a reversal soon, right? So that is kind of another example of that's happening. Another good example right now, which you can see almost, is what's it called? If you look down here, remember those imbalances we talked about earlier,
Mm,
right? So remember that when we're up here, we're like, okay, we're shorting. We have the knowledge that there's a poor low, a weak low below us, or not weak low, but a poor low below us,
or low.
and
Yeah.
an imbalance down here that theoretically should be filled, right? As you come into the imbalance, what can you see with order flow, with footprints? You can see that there is 3 million cells that happened in this candle, and with the volume profile, it highlights that the cells happen at the bottom of the candle. So towards the bottom, right, of these two candles, you're absorbing cells with limit buys. So the market is absorbing these aggressive buyers. I mean, sorry,
Ah, I see.
aggressive sellers.
Sellers.
Yes.
Because people are buying also.
Yeah.
Because so okay, I see. And that causes price to move up.
Yes, and that will cause the price to move up, right? So this can be seen as a sign of, yeah, just absorption.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sick.
is yep. So yeah, so this would have been a good reason for you to fully TP that short, right? Like, right? Let's say you held it fully, that could have been a good confluence for you to, okay, I can go ahead and full TP the short if you did hold it because you're like, we filled imbalances, we filled poor structure, we have a lot of sellers being absorbed, maybe it's time for price to turn around, especially when OI is decreasing as is happening, right? So
Yeah.
you're right. So you see all those confluences building up, giving you that extra confirmation, right? That extra ground to go ahead and
Yeah.
take profit.
Sure. And would you be able to tell that in real time?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you
would
know
you
that you're trading.
know? Okay. Damn, I'm gonna be asking. I'm like, all right, fine. What are our poor lows? What are our poor highs? Because I can't
Yeah,
read this that well.
look up
Yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah,
We
yeah.
actually we made poor highs right now. We made triple poor highs. So I like to,
Buddy.
yeah, we made triple poor highs right now. And for me, what I've experienced or with my knowledge in trading is when we have a poor high or poor low bigger than two blocks, so it's more than two blocks like this 2 blocks. But if we have one
Two
like
blocks,
this,
what, tall?
no, just 2 blocks sideways, like
Wide.
together,
It's wide. Okay.
wide. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
2 blocks wide.
yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
for like this, they have yes, they have a pretty good chance at being repaired. But if they're like this, more than 2 blocks, I say that they have a very good chance of being repaired. Like a great chance that price will definitely come back up to it and take it out before
Mm,
either continuing lower or just simply continuing higher. And that's exactly
yeah.
what we have here. We have a poor high at 644. So honestly, I'd expect this to high to hold, to a certain point. Obviously, unless we it looks a little too bearish, we'll see
So
what happens.
sweep that and then maybe take a short.
Yes, you can
Sweep
trade
those highs.
you can trade those like that also, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Because we had a major MMD with ETH. And the FOMC reversal, I feel like, is not done yet. I don't know what you think of that, but
yeah, I don't really see much honestly. Um, but what else can we see, right? We have a poor low even down here at 6225, which
yeah,
is what's this? This is our low we made. Yeah, it's our low we made what
fucking
Monday?
love trading.
Monday low. Yeah, so
Yeah, Monday.
yeah, it's yesterday, right? Yeah, so it's a poor low here and
Jeez, dude.
I always
It's like
mark
it's
these out.
Wednesday.
I always mark these out. Um,
Hmm.
just keep it marked on your trading view or in the folder or whatever. What else can we see with this? If we expand it, right? If we expand it, that's how you find the weak lows, like this V and W, right? 2 blocks width, I guess, right? Um,
Yeah.
this is a
Why?
weak
Yeah.
low that you could definitely look for, right? Um,
Longs. I was thinking actually last night at here, let me go to my chart. I was thinking at like so I was like watching it with my friend and I was taking a short because I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. We came in. I was like, all right, I'll give it one more stab. And price just started. Here, I'm on the 5 minute. Let's see. I enter. Yeah, it started going down, and then we started just structure just started looking so good, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh my gosh, should I have taken a long? Which I should have taken a long up to that OB, like a scalp. But structure just was so good, and I mean, this is here. Fi. I'm gonna share my screen for a second. I just
okay,
want to ask one. I don't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good. I'm pretty much done speaking about that trade, so we can go on to the
Okay.
next.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get this. We need you. Wait a second. Hold
But yeah,
on.
everything I showed, yes, can be read in full time. It's all right there
Mhm.
in front of you as it happening.
That's so cool. I uh I gotta learn how to do that better. I don't know how to do it really that well yet, but you know. All right, so okay, where are we? Yeah, so right here, let's see. It's out of here. Right here. In my mind, I should have seen this, but I didn't. This is what would have triggered um and it is a long actually right here. I would have this is something I would have taken. I would have gone probably like that, entered right off this OB. My TP would be like off in the middle of this. And that it actually would have been a good trade. But you can see that I would have done. Let me get this out of the way. I have my whisper flow down here. My whisper flow is goaded. Get whisper flow. Anyway, like this. And I would have probably entered actually at the top of this OB just so I don't get front ran because I don't like getting front ran.
Okay.
And I would have put my stop just below here. Um, and that's literally all I would have taken this trade and then I know we're gonna get a reaction since this is obviously a level. As Tack always says, you're always gonna have a reaction off a level. What matters is what happens after. And so then we would have came up here, would have been great. We broke these highs, and then again we held this low. And so I would have held right here. And then once we started to move back up, I would have moved to break even, probably somewhere in here.
Okay.
And then I would have TP'd. But I just didn't see that in the moment because it's so easy to blind yourself.
Right.
But like if I had the confluence of TPO, how would that have helped me to see this trade? Shit.
To see
To
this
see this trade.
trade, let me look. If there's anything.
Yeah, let me go hop back to your screen.
I wouldn't say much really with T. Yeah,
Okay.
in this case, I really wouldn't say that there was much to tell you to help you with this trade, honestly. Um, yeah, not much. But what I could say is, from my POV with just this screen right here, not even looking at the volume profile, whatever. Um, if you look at the weekly VWAP, right, you can see how it actually comes right into your entry, and it's defending that zone very, very strongly,
Yeah.
right? And you can see that same thing happening again at this low, right? It comes right into the weekly VWAP, very strong support, bounces off, same thing as does over here at your entry. If we did zoom into order flow here, we're on the 5 minutes. Um, let's see what's happening here. See if we can see anything. Okay, this is something nice with order flow. We can see nice node here.
Mm,
Okay, so what
yeah.
this candle is telling me, this node,
That's the OB, right? That's the OB I wanted to long off of,
I think so, yes.
I think.
S
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this node is telling me that seller aggression
Yeah, it is.
is at 6327, 6326, meaning sellers want BTC to be below here. Okay, they want to be below this $20 range, or is this $10 range, I guess. So if you're a bull, you want to defend this price zone very strongly because you know if you lose it, then bears or sellers have got what they wanted, right? They've won this battle of holding the zone, right? Like at the moment, bulls above it, bulls are winning, right? Bulls are winning. But if you break below it, bears are winning, right? Bears want to see BTC below this price, okay? Now,
Mm,
how can that help us later on is, well, defending that zone can act as support resistance, right? And that's exactly what it does, right? Right at that node, look where we wick into, right into that node. You see that wick into that
yeah,
node?
totally. Yeah.
That's kind of thing, right? And I've gone I've gone over this a couple of times, with a few other people. This happens repeated amount of times. That I'm not just cherry picking. Like you literally just told me, pick up a chart right now and show me how I could have
Yeah.
benefited myself. I'm showing you right now that it's very beneficial to learn order flow. And these are good
I want
examples
to.
of
And
it.
that's why yeah. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What else can we see with this? You see this candle, right? A lot of red. Okay, look on the left side. A lot of red, right? So it means a lot of sellers coming into
Mhm.
this VWAP support. This little guess, if you want to call it your order block supports. Um, so a lot of sellers happening here. And if we look at the open interest, what is it telling us? It's telling us that shorts are opening because the open interest blue equals opening, and a delta red equals shorts or sells. So sells are opening, basically meaning shorts are opening positions into this very important support. So what could this mean? This could mean that the market could probably trap shorts here, trap bears,
Mhm.
thinking that they're going to get a breakdown below this very important zone, but they actually don't, right? And that's exactly what happened here, right? Price came to this very important support. 6 million shorts came in, and price
I was
overall
one of those.
defended it, right? And price overall defended it and bounced back upwards. Okay.
6 million people got rammed. Jeez, bro.
Yep. It's actually a lot more. This is only showing one pair. This isn't even showing, Binance and all of the pairs, so there's probably a lot more.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so that happens. And then your next, then you want to go over your TP, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
no, I
mean,
think I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I just want to show
yeah,
you why it was important support.
that was what it is. Yeah. No, that's cool. I really want to learn order flow and TPO. I just know like I don't really, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm going over tax curriculum and like though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just goaded.
Um, yeah, okay, so then let's look at this high. This can be another cool thing that happens. So these highs, right? You're sweeping them. Each time a high gets swept over here, right? You see these, if you zoom out a little bit, you can see it better a little bit. These highs are getting swept, swept, swept. Each time a high gets swept, what can you see? Absorption happening. So there's 2 million longs coming into this wick high as you're sweeping it, right? So that's example of longs being absorbed. Over here, what happens? Not much really. You could definitely tell absorption happened, but it wasn't a big amount. Like this was, this was like the fish in the sea almost, right? Being absorbed. But there
Yeah.
is absorption happening because you have 100,000 buyers coming in, but only 11,000 sellers. You're like, well, how was the price going down? It's going down because people had absorption, or I mean, sorry, people had to limit sells here, right? And so another example of that
AKA
happening.
people had were shorting, but they set limit orders.
No,
So the
it,
same
it can
thing.
be it can be sellers. No, no, no. It can no. It's sellers. Just limit sellers. Just forget shorting and longs when you're looking at footprints.
Okay.
You don't need it. Forget
Okay.
shorting and long. Just
Okay.
just just think of buyers and sellers.
So people are trying to sell there.
Yes. So yeah, people are selling at this price. They like to sell at Bitcoin being 63,980, basically.
So in other words, what is a sell though then? Now I'm confused. Is that someone just a TP? Because
It could be a
they're selling.
TP. It could be people selling Bitcoin. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Like yes, it can be shorting too, but I'm just saying when you're looking at footprints, it's really you're only focused on buyers and sellers. You're forgetting the other
Okay.
terminology. Understand?
Why?
Well, that's really what footprint is. Buyers and sellers. Buy
Okay.
and ask. Buy
Yeah.
and ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Yes. Something else that happens here is later on you come back after bouncing into your long, right? Your long that you had. You come into it. You sweep this high here. What can you see with footprints? You see
It's
open
a
interest is
poor it's a
red.
poor high. We also front ran my OB.
It wasn't a port high. We'll focus on this J letter. If you look at TPO, it's J. So open interest is red, meaning positions are closing. If you look through it, yes, there is also market sellers, but there's mostly market buyers being absorbed, right? Like 500K buyer to 100K sell. Obviously, limit sellers stepped in there. 600K buys, 100K sells. Obviously, limit sells pulled came in there, right? Etc. Etc. Here, some direct market absorption does happen where you get 300K buys and 350K sellers. Yes, that was direct, you know, um, seller aggression that came in and absorbed those
Mhm.
market buys.
And 1
Um,
million sell.
yeah, a 1 million sell, that was a good example of seller aggression coming in at a resistance. So that means like sellers are very aggressive into this resistance, basically.
And so was there more sellers or buyers on that
Sellers.
wick?
Or
And so that
no, no,
caused
no, hold
price to
on.
go down.
It was more buyers, but sellers to the bottom part. So the upper part is more absorption, the bottom part is more aggression. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. And with this open interest being red, this can tell us that there was longs. I mean, sorry, there is shorts being forced to close into this uprise.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like market pushing up to wipe out
My
shorts
TP
almost.
actually, my stop loss got hit there actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where my stop loss was. Right above those
Yeah.
highs.
But yeah, so this would have been a good example of, shorts being wiped out here, like the market going to hunt shorts. Um, and then let's go over another trade setup we have going on.
Yeah, yeah, no, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Um,
639.
yeah, I won't make you will make you go to. I just wanted to see if like exactly why we. I just wanted to see like the why we had such strong expansion.
Yeah, yeah. The expansion here could have been, well, if you look at a couple things, an OI decrease happening, so that could have been a signal. That's okay. Positions are getting wiped out, so we can look for a reversal in trend soon. Something
Okay.
else could have been, there is some absorption. I wouldn't say the absorption is that crazy that happened, but I would highlight that there was 4 million buyer regression that's happened at this support at this low. So that could have been market aggression, like market buyer aggression, kind of telling you that they really want to hold this level. Um, so I actually wanted to take this long if I posted it in VIP. I don't know if it's scroll up somewhere, but posted in VIP saying that I wanted to
Oh,
see
you
this
did?
this imbalance get retested, right? And obviously, well, that doesn't happen. So I kind of missed the
Yeah.
initial move. Um, but later on, that imbalance does indeed get tested, right? And that's where I kind of want to take that long. I mean, it was at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
so I kind of wasn't awake really. But
Yeah.
in your favor, yes, there was a decrease in OI, so that was a good signal of trend reverse incoming. There was an imbalance made here, or like imbalance with buyer aggression. So you know that there is market buyers or buyers really interested, like bulls very interested in holding this level for a
Mm.
reverse. See if we can find something else. Let me look at this high. Nothing really. Sec TPO. That's here. Yeah, it was. Okay. So look what happens here. Oh, I also talked about this in VIP too. I remember. So I said in VIP, I have it right here. It says a poor high slash low with more than 2 blocks has a high percentage of not holding for long. So I was
Mm.
insinuating that these quadruple highs or these quadruple poor highs that we made
Jeez.
here has a very high chance of being revisited or at the minimum being swept. And
We
right and
completely smashed through them. Yeah.
right? And I was saying that down here, I was saying, these poor highs, I'm expecting them to be revisited, or I'm expecting them to have a very high chance of them being revisited, and I'm really expecting this low to hold as long as this imbalance holds, right? And this imbalance is where I wanted to
Yeah.
take that long,
And we did
and
hold it nicely.
right, yeah, and we did hold it, and we
That's
had
where
that,
I wanted to long. Yeah.
yeah, we had that confluence of having those quadruple highs above, right? And that's kind
Yeah.
of exactly what happens.
And
You
I actually
push
wanted to
up,
short too at the top over there. I
yeah,
didn't though.
yeah, you